And we are back with a new mode called Joint Purge. Okay, I'm using an alt account because I didn't know that these buffs gets upgraded. So yeah, I just auto select that and I'm using live trial. Okay, main reason I use that because to show that
Adjutants, don't let me out of your sight.
it's just too easy, man. Like, I suppose it's decent
Enemy forces all within control.
difficulty with the trial, but we have our own units, you know? And that just makes it too easy. The mob spawn are also very few for co-op.
Target down.
You you'll definitely struggle even getting a hit.
Let's put an end to this. Objective complete. Awaiting orders.
Like, you know,
Enemy fleet
it's a
is
level
exposed.
70 unit for trial, and this is the very basic buff. And you know, I didn't even check the buff. I just press auto select. And it's not hard, you know. Of course, you know, this is solo, but if you play co-op, the other players are typically, you know, will have well-built units anyway.
Remember how they move. There'll be more of them.
So yeah, I just think they need to
All within control.
try to, what do you call it, just make a better difficulty overall. Maybe add more spawns, you know, enemy spawn, especially for co-op.
Objective complete. Awaiting orders.
And I feel like the spawn on here is a second slower. Like you see the spawn
Target
animation,
down.
like there, and they will not exactly spawn just right away. You know? It's like once it disappears, it will only spawn. So I feel like it's
Remember how
not,
they moved.
you
There'll
know,
be more of them.
continuous combat, especially since, you know, we don't
Enemy
need to choose any buffs anymore, which I do like. You know, for a co-op game, at the very least, for single player, it's fine with buff options. But you know,
All within control.
that's my thoughts on the difficulty of this mode. Okay. Now I'll just skip to the results since we do have one now here. They show the result of our run. So yeah, and as you can see, it's trial and it's just 1 per minute and 34, and that seems to be the SS rank time. And mind you, I only put the starter map there, so it can still be improved. Okay, other than the difficulty and mob spawn, what can I do? Well, as you can see, the background here, you know, makes me think that maybe they can make it so that we can go there, and you know, enemies will spawn and something. I don't know, maybe there's an objective, who knows, maybe like they can add a uh, spring thing to jump over there. I don't know, you know, I feel like it has a potential to be something more than what it's, you know, it currently is. They just need a little more push. Now let's go back with the maps. It's in the arsenal tab here, and we have the 3 options here. This one is per skill, DPS. This one is for balance, skill and ballistic. The topmost part is the ballistic one. Yeah, that is here. So, and you can like change a few of the buffs. Oh yeah, and before that we have a shop here now. So we get an incentive to actually play the mode more, or maybe less if you just want the silver box like I do. We have the buffs here again. It's still RNG, but you can just buy the buffs instead of playing more. Like, we do get upgrades, but if it's max upgrade, we'll get this currency, and that's like this currency anyway as well. Then you can like mix and match the buffs, depending on what operative you're using, and it's a bit specific on what type of buffs we can put. Yeah, you see here, you see the upper one, it says support, right? So the one with the bullet is ballistic. Yeah, here ballistic. I know there's a lot more, but I still feel like it's still restrictive in a way because it's too specific. And since we are farming buffs, I think it's, at least for me, I think it's better is maybe with the spectral fantasies buff system, which is the puzzle buffs. And if you haven't seen that one yet, just think of the dorm system puzzle, but the puzzle piece have the buffs as stats, and if you put more pieces there of the same type, then you'll get, well, you know what, I'll just put it here. This is my old video here, if you can see the title there. Yeah, this is the buff system of Spectral Fantasies. I kinda get that it can be boring to some, but I feel like this is kind of fit if we're gonna farm a buff. Not unless you want it's something similar to Paradoxical Labyrinth.
The arrows
So
are
yeah,
set.
all in
Ready
all,
to
I
take flight.
really think they could have done better for the mode. Yeah, this is the co-op run, just so you can see just how fast it is to run out of enemies to fight.
Objective complete. Precisely as the simulation
I
indicated.
kinda lagged there. Like, it's too easy, especially even with 3 people.
Reloading now.
Like, I think they can increase the difficulty, but also increase the rewards for co-op. I think that's fair.
The end? This is just the beginning.
It's to also incentivize co-op.
Hardly worth our concern. Try to dodge this.
Yeah, look at how fast we're running out of enemies to fight.
Your defeat was never in question.
Like, look at the Fanny.
Precisely
I
as
think
the simulation dictated.
it's trying to use the skill, but we already killed it. So you can barely attack.
Hardly worth our concern. This shall conclude shortly.
So yeah, again the mobs are just too few. You know, at least increase that. I think the only problem is that our units are just too
Try to dodge
overpowered
this.
compared
Let my
to
arrows rain.
the regular units that doesn't have much investment. No, maybe that's the problem. But there's a trial though, trial units.
Then,
And that's
would you
about it.
mind stepping a little closer?
What do you think of the mode so far?